I'm Vanessa with Ellie and Mac, and welcome back to my sewing room. Today we're going to be going back to the past for the newest trend. Have you been seeing those quilted jackets everywhere? I have, and I realized I have some of this gorgeous quilted vintage fabric in my stash. So today we're going to take the oversized tee with my vintage fabric, my vintage facing, as well as some vintage tools. And we're gonna make this into one of those beautiful quilted oversized jackets that sell for $290. I am not even kidding. Let's get started on this and I'll show you all my tips, all my tricks, and how I hack my way through this viral trend. Fabric was purchased at Sprouse and Ritz, and this company has been out of business since 1990. So I cannot even imagine how old this fabric is. The Ellie and Mac pattern I'm using today is the oversized tee. I feel like this trend is based on dumb luck and blind confidence, so I'm going in it with both of those things. So I decided that the oversized tee would be a great hack for me to do. I don't enjoy a lot of bulk around my neck, so I decided to try the boat neck so it would be gracefully sitting on the edge of my shoulders instead of having a lot of this quilted fabric right up around my face. But I do think doing the, scoop neck with the normal back would also be a really great option. So I'm cutting 2 layers of this very old fabric. It is crunching as I go, but normally you just get a quilt, but it is throwing off my lines because it is a little bit thicker. So that's why my lines look a little shorter or a little longer than they're supposed to be. And the reason why I did the oversized tee is because it's a drop sleeve in my inspo picture, and the oversized tee has the perfect drop sleeve for this. I also sized up 2 sizes than my normal size I cut. So make sure you make those adjustments so you have the perfect fit. I wanted to have some nice finishes in this jacket. So after I put right sides together on both sides of my shoulders, I'm going to show you how I use binding for finishing detail. So now I'm going to open up my seam, and then with it facing flat down, I'm going to be adding a piece of binding. This is going to help close the seam so the cotton doesn't slide out. I think this is really helpful. I haven't seen very many videos that show exactly how you stop that from happening, so I did want to show how you can finish up all those seams with this quilted fabric. Now I'm going to take my binding and I'm going to take it to my ironing board and spray it down and iron it flat. This is going to hide all those seams just like that. And then all I need to do is top stitch it down. If you're wondering why I keep saying facing instead of binding, it's actually what's on the outside of this vintage package. Now I'm ironing the binding or facing opposite direction. This is 2 inches wide, and we're using this to give that detail on the sleeve. So I'm taking that 2-inch facing and I'm sewing it onto the arm circle, except for I forgot to push record when I first did it, so now I'm pretending without thread. But this is so important, so I wanted to show you exactly what I'm doing. So it's folded over, and then as you can see, those binding edges are going to come up and over the raw edges of the quilt. Look how nice that looks. And then we're going to add on our sleeve. So with our sleeve, we're just going to clip it on the outside of that binding. And again, we want those 2 flaps to not be sewed down because those are going to come and open up over the open edges, and then we can top stitch them down. So I'm just going to be clipping it on my sleeve here, and then I'm going to show you how we attach it and then exactly what it looks like. So after I've attached my sleeve with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, now it's time to sew down that binding. I'm sewing the binding a 1/4 inch from the middle seam because this is going to be visible on the outside. I want to make this perfect. You can see that there were some areas where I accidentally caught the quilt on the first time around, but as you can tell, I'm being very careful the next time, making sure that the quilt does not bunch up because we're top stitching at a curve, and sometimes that does some weird things to our fabric. And here's the flip that let me know I was on the right track. Look how nice it's coming along. Oh, it is a big joke that I am a terrible singer to all my friends and family. They all know, and I never thought that I'd be putting that on YouTube. But there you go. I was so excited. I decided since I was on a high, I was going to cut some cuffs. So I'm having my sleeve open, and then I want my cuffs to be about 2.5 inches wide. So I cut them 5 inches, and then now I'm cutting up the edges to make sure they match perfectly with seam allowance. Before I could add the cuffs, I needed to close up my side seams. I wanted to start at where the center seam was in my arm circle and sew down, and then turn my jacket around and do the exact same thing, just to make sure that those lines aligned perfectly, as well as the binding that was sticking out as a detail. So just be very careful here, pin extra, or if you're like me and you forget to pin when you're nervous, just make sure you take precautions here to make sure that those details and everything lines up perfectly. Back to my cuffs, and now I'm going to be putting right sides together, and then I'm going to be folding it in half and then doing the same 1/2 inch seam allowance I've been doing this whole entire time. Make sure you do this with both cuffs. Now it's time to be attaching my cuffs onto my sleeves. I'm lining it up with the seam lines, and I'm sewing all the way around. And okay, so here's the jacket on so far with the cuffs, and I'm actually really liking it, but I'm starting to eat all the fluff. It's like in my eyes, all throughout my hair, so I'm starting to serge some of the edges because it is everywhere. I'm getting itchy. So I'm going to round off the corners here on the bottom and the top, and then I'm going to start working on my pockets, and then we're going to bind the whole outside of this jacket. So at this point, my camera died, and I decided to try one of the pockets while I wasn't filming to kind of get a handle on it. So I curved out the sides of my jacket with my French curve, as well as 2 8x8 squares that I made into pockets, and also curved the edges to match my jacket. So I thought through the first pocket, and I got the order of operations down, and then I completely disregarded it for the second pocket. So as you can see my detail at the top of my pocket, but first you need to do your binding. So I'm gonna be showing this out of order, but you're gonna put binding down the side that it's going to attach to your jacket, not on the curved hem side. So with the same 2-inch binding that I used on my drop shoulder, I'm actually going to put on the edge of my pocket. I ironed down this side that's going to be top stitched onto my jacket on the straight side, and then I'm just attaching it at the 1/4 inch seam line, and I'm going to be folding it over so I have a nice 1-inch detail. Make sure that you take it to the iron, and you're going to iron it down, and this way you can top stitch it, and it's going to attach both sides together. And then I'm just going to be top stitching it down with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And here we're just going to pretend that I have that binding attached, and it looks great. But anyways, we're just going to attach this down, and it's going to give us that perfect bright detail that will be matching our sleeves. You may have noticed I did not top stitch that little binding on the edge of my pocket, and that's because I wanted to top stitch it as I'm sewing it on to my jacket. And then I just clipped around that curve to make sure that everything stays together as I'm sewing this on, and then it gives such a nice finished detail. So based on this video, you probably think that I don't own any pins, but honestly, I really like to work with long strands of binding, and then I like to use my needle to pivot, because the needle is such this sharp point that I can kind of ease my fabric into a curve, whereas if I try to do all the needles and pin it through, I just feel like I have a harder time. But if this is not for you, if you like to pin it on, go for it. This is just what I have found works for me, but definitely do what you need to do. So this is a speedy version of it, of me going over those curves. As I'm sewing on this binding though, it's actually sewing on my pocket to my jacket. As you can see on the inside, that is how my pocket is sewn on, is through the binding. And then I'm going to iron down this binding so I can top stitch it and have all the nice finished details. And here we are, top stitching, and then we are finished with this jacket. This has been such a fun sew for me, and I love that I finally got to use this fabric that's probably 50 years old. And look at those finished pockets. I did not think I was going to like this jacket. I thought it was some crazy fabric, but I ended up loving it. This was so much fun. A like and subscribe would be amazing. Thank you so much for watching.